Hi, guys. Oh, God, I've got no light. Hello. Excuse me, guys. Hang on while I just flick my light on. Got the wrong light on. I'm coming. I'm coming. Hang on. Ollie, be quiet. No. What are you barking at? Wait. What are you barking at? Sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone. I'm sorry I'm so incredibly late. I had my little assistant here and I didn't realise at the time. My apologies. Who's here? Hi, Indigo. Hi, Nash. Hi, Intuitive Tasha. Hi, Shady. I don't know how to say your name, darling. Hi, Sinead. Hi, Kylie. Hi, I am Queen. Hi, Vicky Lou. Hi, Ali. Hi, Miss Davies. Miss Davy, Mrs. Davy, Miss Davy. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Laura. Hi, Jill. Hello. See all the hellos. Hi, guys. I'm gonna run the dog over here. Still using all your advice and still changing my life every day. Oh, Marissa, wonderful, darling. Hooray. All right, let's go to the top, shall we? Guys, I will pin the comment in a minute about signing up to my course alert that's there if you want to do it, if you haven't done it already. Indigo, why do my manifestations sometimes happen to other people? It can happen, guys. I've noticed when I try and affirm something very specific, like, for example, travel to Iceland to see the Northern Lights or get engaged, specific date immediately, the next thing I see is that people who are close to me around are doing it, happening to them and me. Could it be birds for land? Yes, darling, say that. How can I affirm things to take form directly into my life? Look, guys, sometimes that can happen. And you know why that can happen sometimes? I know this sounds really freaky, but sometimes you can imagine yourself in the picture, like seeing yourself watching the Northern Lights or seeing yourself getting engaged, like a guy and you're seeing it from your eyeballs as if you're in front of you. That's not really the best way to visualize. You should really do it from first person perspective, as Neville says, from your own eyeballs, because sometimes you'll literally manifest it for someone else because you're seeing a picture. So you literally manifest the picture. So are you seeing a picture or are you seeing yourself from your eyeballs seeing the Northern Lights? Yourself from your eyeballs seeing a ring being put on your finger. That can be the reason sometimes. Could also be that you're looking for very, very specific things and not just getting into the state of engage and the state of a traveller. Try going maybe a bit less specific if it will help you, darling. I don't know what you're doing, but hi, Loz, at work, so not sure I'll make the live. Hopefully it isn't too early. I've noticed another trigger. It came up in regards to co-parenting and my ex-girlfriend replacing me as mum. Oh, I can understand that, darling. Also been feeling amazing in general. It's like it's done with OGSP. So I sent a generic, hey, how are you? Text yesterday. My dumb phone notified me today. There hasn't been a response. Would I like to follow up? Oh, no. I spiraled for a sec. Then said to myself, his kid's had his phone. He doesn't even know the text is there. Exactly, darling. By the way, OGSP isn't my kid's dad. It's the guy who showed up. Great. He couldn't even understand why he was wanting a break because he knew there was something there. Then, of course, third party showed up. Fuck, I'm a genius. Don't worry, Nat. Look, guys, your triggers will come up sometimes and you'll notice them. Sasha and I have had conversations where we're like, oh, look at this trigger that's come up for us that we didn't even realize. And we're teaching this shit. Don't worry about it, Nat. At least you're noticing it and you know you can change it. All very positive. Don't worry about it. Now, don't worry about the no reply just yet. Give it all good meaning like you did. Can't wait to love you. You're so funny. Oh, thank you, darling. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Loz. My SP told me last week and said it's a good time to go our own way. Oh, no. I didn't react in 3D. I disrespected his decision and wished him well. However, I did react emotionally, badly, crying. Well, that's understandable, darling. Taking my anger out on my loved ones, looking at his social, overthinking everything, spiraled so badly. I didn't revise and didn't go hard on my affirmations. At this point, I feel exhausted and hurt, heartbroken. I thought I was doing well these last few months and then this happened. I never thought of having one-to-one coaching because your teaching online seemed to be good enough for me to do myself, but I think it's time I need one-to-one coaching. Are you doing any? Not at the moment, guys, but I will when the website starts. Look, what you've got to understand a lot of the time, guys, and I know this is really hard to accept, when shit plays out in 3D, you've got to think, when was I thinking this might go wrong? And some of you need to be really honest with yourselves and think, why did I start watching manifestation channels? Why did I start watching any content about specific person or about third parties while I was in the relationship? Oh, if I'm honest with myself, I know it's because I was afraid of the ex-girlfriend. I was worried about a third party coming along. I was worried our relationship was getting distanced. I was worried he wasn't in love with me as he used to be. I was worried. Therefore, I started watching the content. Therefore, I have literally manifested what is now played out in my 3D with my old thinking. That's why I started watching the content in the first place. I had that realization once. I was like, why am I even watching this? When I was in the relationship, I was watching it. And it made me realize later, when we got back together, that I had manifested the breakup by starting to watch content because I was already worried. That's why I watched the content. You understand? So then you can acknowledge that it played out perfectly because you were worried. Is that what's happened? Then know that you perfectly created that. Therefore, you can undo it and change it. Got it? That's what a lot of people don't understand about my account, guys. I'm only teaching what Neville taught. You are the only cause of your reality. I'm not blaming you or saying it's your fault. I am saying you've got to identify when you thought the thoughts that have now played out. And they don't have to be specific thoughts. It can just be a very generalized thing like worry, right? And anyone who doesn't understand that and thinks I'm teaching you to blame yourself or go back in your past and flagellate yourself for what happened or kick yourself about and beat yourself up, that's the fucking last thing I would do because that's what I do naturally, beat myself up. So why would I teach that? She doesn't do one-to-one coaching anymore. She's doing coursing, yes. There'll be a few of us on one live. Yes, I'll do 12 slots a week of one-to-one coaching. It's much shorter time slot, and it will be shown in the new Facebook group, the paid one. There'll still be the free one, then there'll be a paid one, okay? Loza reacted to 3D with SP after doing so well, and I've told him we should stop seeing each other because we're just arguing again. I told him I loved him, and he seems to not care. No, darling, he doesn't not care if you think he doesn't care. I'm struggling with my self-concept at the moment because I know my 3D is such a mess and I still want him and I know he'll come back, but I don't want to accept what he's giving me in the 3D anymore. We're in a constant cycle of him coming back and then he triggers me when he ignores me. Okay, well, that's what you need to get a handle on, darling. Then I get into a fight with him about it's been like this for 6 months. Well, Sinead, you just wrote down what the problem is. How is that his fault? That I get triggered and I start our fight when he ignores me. So you've broken up with him about your trigger about I get ignored, I get triggered. So it's nothing to do with him and you've broken up with him about it. Guys, the whole point of my account is not fucking up things the way I did with my old SP that I had to identify to figure out what the fuck I did. That's why I started this account, right? A lot of you are still doing the same mistakes I'm trying to teach you not to do, like breaking up with them over your own triggers, Sinead. So now get a handle on those fucking triggers and get them back, please. He's told me to leave him alone now, but I've apologized for being crazy to him because I felt so bad. Now what you're doing is doing what I do, which is beating yourself up and feeling like it's all your fault. You've got to stop that, darling. You've got to get a handle on the I do things wrong. I fuck things up. I can't handle my emotions. I explode, blah, blah, blah stuff. It's no point apologizing to him out loud. All you need to do is work on your triggers and work on your beating yourself up. I'm not good enough. I get triggered when people ignore me. I feel like you're taking your love away. I feel like you don't love me. Why won't you love me? Why won't you give me what I need? Shit that's going on in your head that's causing you to get triggered in the first place. And then you break up with him. No point apologizing about it. Go and fix it in your mind. And then see him coming to you and saying, babe, I don't care. I like it when you act crazy. I know it means you love me. Who gives a shit about what happened? Let's start again. Whatever. Part 1, Loz, everything is going good. Living in the end in 5D. 3D is playing out hot and cold, but I'm not bothered as I know it's my old story playing out. However, I had 2 days of ranting and part 2 raving in my head about SP as 3D was unfavorable. I was still persistent in my affirmations. I've changed it up and bit and now written on my mirror, the I am's good and a cool little song. Oh, of affirmations I sing out loud. That's lovely. When doing the affirming, I feel so empowered like never before. Oh, wonderful. I took a photo of it and put it as my wallpaper on my phone. So every time I'm in the toilet, I say them. That's great. Having them in the toilet's a great idea. Part 4, I'm also doing my long affirmations morning, night. So my question is, those 2 days really mean nothing when I've been hardcore affirming the way I have been. I feel like it hasn't, but I guess reassurance from the Queen is always nice. Hope you had an awesome birthday, by the way. Oh, thank you, darling. I did. It was lovely. So what 2 days are you worried about? Oh, the 2 raving in my head is SP3D was unfavorable. It doesn't matter, guys. Sometimes they will turn up unfavorable. Sometimes they'll turn up as right. See you next Tuesday. Had 2 days of ranting. That's fine. Ranting and raving in your head. Guys, look, sometimes you need to get out the old shit. Sometimes you need to get your feelings out. Okay, you had a bit of a spiral for 2 days. It doesn't matter, guys. It won't mess this up unless you think it will. Okay? Stop saying it's going to mess anything up. You're doing everything brilliantly. Don't worry. Just continue what you're doing. Hi, Loz, can you give advice on abandonment issues adopted by a narc mum, physical and mental abuse? Oh, no, darling. Okay. So one way to deal with parental issues when they were terrible parents is to separate your feelings about them and start identifying, if you possibly can, that they did not know how to be a fucking parent, that they were terrible parents because they had no idea what they were doing, that it wasn't anything personal, that they literally didn't know how to give you love properly, didn't know how to not be abusive because they came from abuse, didn't know how to not be an alcoholic because they came from an addict family or whatever, and forgive them for the shitty, horrible job they did as a parent. And I know that's really hard. But if you can't forgive them, you'll hold on to anger for the rest of your life. And I know people, trust me, recently, in the last couple of years, friends of mine whose fathers or mums have died, and they've held on to that resentment and they've wanted to say things on their deathbed, and then they realize, I've forgiven you now, and now it's too late. And I've held on to this story for 40 whatever years, 50 whatever years of I hate you, what you did to me, and all I've done is now sat here whilst at your bedside thinking, I don't even care anymore. I forgive you. Forgive them now, darling. It'll save that horrible experience of sitting by the bedside and needing to forgive them. So you don't hold anger when they're dead. Think of it that way. And then start working on your abandonment shit. Like, I am always chosen. No one will dare leave me. People are always there for me. People will always give me the love I need. No one would dare leave me. All those things. When doing inner conversations, do you go back and forth, or do you tell them things you want them to think? Any way you want to do it, guys, you can talk out loud to them and then hear them talking back. You can talk out loud to them and then be their voice. Say it out loud in your own voice. You can just imagine them saying things and imagine you saying things. Just use your imagination. You don't have to say anything out loud. Any way you want. You can whisper in their ear. Any way you want, guys. There's no right or wrong way how to do it. Whatever works for you. When doing the IELTS. Okay, that makes sense. Part 1, my dad left my mum when she told him she was pregnant with me. Oh, no, I met him and the side of the family when I was 20. However, it's been 16 years on and off contact and I haven't spoken in years. My question is, could this be the reason as to why I feel unwanted and not chosen? You think, darling? Yes. And prioritize, especially when it comes to relationships. Darling, if you've had a situation where a dad just disappeared, especially when you're pregnant, you're going to think, I'm the reason he left. He did not want me. Then what are you going to think about every person you're in love with? Eventually they won't want me. Eventually they'll leave. There's something wrong with me and people won't love me for me like my dad didn't. Your brain doesn't know it's thinking that. It just goes on autopilot about that. It's warning you. Warning, warning. This person who you love, they won't stick around. This person who you love will hurt you. This is what love is like. Unfortunately. So you've got to say the complete opposite story of that. Okay, that's what happened to me. My dad had all kinds of fucked up reasons. He was a fucked up parent. There's a lot of fucked up parents in here today. Guys, you've got to forgive them for being a fucked up, terrible, abandoning, awful, didn't know what they were doing parent. And then work on your shit. Otherwise, you're carrying around poison and drinking it for the rest of your life. And then you'll be on their deathbed thinking, why did I do that to myself and just poison myself for my whole life? Hello, darling loves and friends. Happy Terrific Tuesday to you all. Oh, Dennis! I was affirming my mum's health and the opposite happened. She's now in the hospital. Oh, no, darling. I've been affirming for 7 days. She's healthy and strong. Any advice? I've watched her be unhealthy my whole life. Oh, okay. Trying to get a quick result. Okay. So if she's been unhealthy your whole life, that's what you know. You know her as unhealthy. I want you to radically change that story. If you can go back and revise whatever happened to you as a child when she's been sick, go and revise it if you possibly can, darling. And then keep going and have faith that it will work. Have faith, even if you're hearing doctors say the worst things, you've got to have the faith. Even if all your relatives around you are saying terrible things, you have the faith inside your head. You don't even need to say it. And if they start talking about it in front of you, say, I don't want to hear it. She's going to be fine. They go, oh, no, but shut up. No? Loz, I've had a rough couple of days. I feel like I'm struggling to stay in the state, and I feel like there's been so much resistance in letting the old story go. I've been persisting. I've not spiraled and trying to give a good meaning. Shall I just keep on affirming, living the end, affirm this will pass? Yes, guys, it always passes. Trust me. The amount of people I know that have fucking topped themselves, and I think I wish they knew that this too shall pass. Right? It does. Guys, look, sometimes you will struggle to stay in the state. Sometimes your 3D will really throw you. That's okay. It happens and has happened to me, right? I'm sure it happens to the best manifestation coaches out there, right? I'm sure even Kimberly, who is a master at being in the state, will admit that sometimes she's thrown out of the state she's put herself in. We're not perfect, guys, and neither should you aim to be. If you fall out of the state, okay, you just get back on the beam, as Neville said. You're walking on a beam, you fall off. You've ever done gymnastics and you're doing a Simone Biles and you fall off and then you get back on? You just get back on, guys. That's all you need to do, please. My SP blocked me and I'm manifesting for a new relationship. Oh, what could be the reason behind my SP not wanting to see me more? I would like for us to hang out more. We talk all the time, but we rarely go out and he rarely comes over. We aren't a couple yet, however. We'll just stop having the story that he's blocking you, he doesn't want to spend time with you. You've got some story there. I have to admit that he's really busy at work. He's a lawyer working for his family law firm. He seems really intimate. We barely get to see each other. So you've got some story about him being really busy and not prioritizing you, darling. So you've got to work on the I'm a priority shit because that's really what it is. It's something to do with him or his work. Your brain's finding reasons why he's not going to prioritize you. Hang on, where's the rest of this? Oh, I'm having the exact same problem. Okay, well, if they're not giving you enough attention, guys, and not prioritizing you, do you think it's them that's got the problem or you thinking that they're not prioritizing you? Go and do my I'm a priority sleep tap. I know it says banish the third party, but in your instances, the third party is like the job. It's an outside circumstance. SP's been treating me beautifully for months, and then yesterday, through me expressing my opinion, he reared up at me and got really verbally aggressive, and I tried to silence me and then put the phone down. Oh, okay, Laura. I have no idea what's happened. Maybe it's a purge of dirty water, but perhaps because my self-concept has improved, I feel I'm worth more than this and feel done with him. Look, guys, have you ever had a story that they're angry? Have you ever had a story that you upset people? Have you ever had a story about, it's either a story about him being a fucking nut or unhinged or explosive or disrespecting you or not listening to you or something, or, and it's always or, tied to that is I don't get listened to. When I express a feeling, it's not allowed. Maybe you came from a household where people didn't express their feelings, or you got told off a lot, or you got yelled at, or you got disrespected, or your opinion didn't matter. It could be that. It doesn't have to be that exact thing, like exactly what played out, but it's tied to something in your self-concept. Now that your self-concept's better, no, you don't have to put up with that behavior. Absolutely not. And you remove yourself and you can express a feeling about how you're feeling about it, but also try and figure out where that's come from in yourself. Felt confident to reach out to SP. We chatted and he confessed he thought I'd have met someone else. I haven't, and that he hoped we could try again at some point in the future. Need to keep good self-concept. Oh, we could try again at some point, and that he hoped we could try again at some point in the future. Well, that's great, Jill. That's wonderful news. Hooray. Give that excellent meeting done. Good morning, beautiful effervescent Loz. Oh, thank you, darling. Please, can you tell us more details about your course? Love you lots. Like jelly tots. Oh, D. Hopkins, thank you so much. That's made me feel so nice. Guys, I was on a call this morning with Jenna and Nahal. We were talking about the website. We were in the platform trying to figure out how to get the assessment working, because the assessment is the most crucial part of the course, and we couldn't figure out, now that we've moved it to a new platform, how to get it working the way I wanted. But I think I worked it out. I think we've worked it out since we had the call this morning. I had a brainwave. Which means it's going to take slightly longer just to fix that part of it, because that's the most vital part. I think what will happen with the course is, guys, I think I'll release the course first. Then a couple of weeks later, I'll release the Facebook group with the monthly coaching. And then inside that group, people will be getting coached. And then you can get one-to-one coaching. So that will be released as like a second tier thing. But first of all will be the course, okay? And I would give me a couple of weeks, I would say 2 weeks maximum. Maybe it's a purge of dirty water. Okay, I saw that. SP and I talk often. He reaches out to me and calls me, but sometimes he goes quiet. However, I want to meet in person, but every time we arrange something, it comes up, it doesn't happen. Is it a case of not feeling chosen a priority? It can be that, darling, or you got a story that he's really busy, or you got a story he doesn't want you. What's your story about him? What's your story about you? Hey, Lo, it's been a while. I've been going through the bloody ringer with SP. Stop saying that. Good, then bad, back to bad. I don't want this. Too good. I'm persisting always and working on some concept that makes me so anxious. Well, guys, stop saying going through the ringer. What do you expect is going to bloody happen? Told today to leave him alone. Oh, and that's all in my head and it's never going to work. I don't know what to do, but at the same time, I know exactly what to do. Sorry, Loz, I feel dumb. Don't feel dumb. Guys, when you say things like I feel dumb or I fucked this up or I'm beating myself up, that's your self-concept talking. I fuck things up. I do things wrong. God, I've messed this up. He doesn't want me. God, I always upset people. I feel dumb. Wants to let me go because it will never work and never has. Apparently his whole family thinks the same according to him, but he's still so affectionate when I see him. It's so confusing. Do you have a story that his family doesn't like you? Have you got a story that they not want you together? Have a story about them not supporting your union? Like, what's the story you got about the family? What's the story you're holding about him that he thinks you're a nutcase or whatever? What's the story? Guys, sometimes when you've acted like a nut for a long time with someone, you'll hold a story that they're upset with you, or they think you're a nutcase, or they think it's all too hard, or the family think you're XYZ, and then you'll continue to screw it up because you're holding a story that you've screwed it up already. And that sounds like what you're doing in there. So stop saying that. The cat's outside meowing their head off. Hang on, guys. Can you hear that? Come on. Come here. Come here, please. Shit. Sorry, guys. Cat meowing her head off at the door. She goes out this door, climbs over the roof, and then goes to the front door and demands I let her in. And she'll just meow for the rest of the life, and I'll feel bad. So, Georgie, you see what I'm saying? Stop beating yourself up and stop thinking you fucked this up and see yourselves together, please. No worries. You're worth the wait. Oh, thank you, guys. What can I do? He just wants to spend time with me and come see me. Just decide he wants to spend time with you, but work on your I'm a priority shit, darling, or I get ignored shit. That's where it's coming from. Because what have you done to me? I go on a date and I'm like, I don't think he's good enough for me. Happens, guys. When your self-concept's really good, a dreamboat guy could come along and you'll find holes in him, unfortunately. You'll be like, I'll probably do better than this. I've done that a lot. Is the Ho'oponopono prayer good for forgiving parents? It's good for anything. It really works. I don't know why it works so well, but it really does. I think it's the repetition of it and just makes you feel emotional after a while after you've been saying it over and over and over and over and over. Even if you just listen to it, it's very effective. So, guys, if any of you need to forgive anyone in your past or your person or your family or your parents, go and listen to any Ho'oponopono prayer. I'll probably record one day for you guys. Where am I? God damn it, I just lost my thought. Where am I? So good for 1 week. Manifested my holiday in Mexico being paid for. It's done. I'm going to Mexico. Oh, Vicky, wonderful. Yeah, intuitive Tasha. Hello, gorgeous. I was thinking about you, and then you popped up in my life. I was like, oh, Selena. Hi, guys. Still using your advice and still changing my life every day. Oh, wonderful, darling. Hey, Loz, first time your YouTube lives. Oh, really, Lisa? Hi, Alexa. Hi, guys. Hi, Loz, moved into my new house this week. Manifesting is getting easier and easier. Shelley. Oh, wonderful, Shelley. I'm glad to share great movement with SP. Third party is stalking me again, and my poor SP keeps getting nervous around me, tries to find excuses to talk to me, but he doesn't come forward or be direct. We'll get rid of that story, darling, about wanting to date me. Don't worry about it, darling. Slowly, slowly catch your monkey and just stop saying he's shy and stop saying he's not coming towards you. Stop saying that. Hi, Tara. Hi from South Africa. Oh, hello. How can I change my mindset regarding money? Figure out what it is first, darling. Where's it coming from? So when you're a kid, what happened with money? Were your parents poor or struggling or always said you couldn't afford things or went from job to job or moved from town to town? Where's it come from? And then change all those shitty beliefs because that's where you got them from. Hi, Loz, you're amazing. Advice for getting out of a unhappy relationship, getting my own place and attracting my SP back, please. Well, just see yourself with that new SP in a new place and just banish the old SP. Just imagine you've moved on from that. You're in the new state of the new you in the new house with the new SP. Loz, the third party's gone, but SP still isn't back. I'm halfway there, so it's something. But how do I get in the state of being back with SP fully? Don't worry about it. Isn't done yet in the 3D. It's done in your mind, isn't it? You got rid of the third party, didn't you? Don't worry about it. What are you doing? Just getting a toy. Currently writing a news story while watching you. Oh, good, darling. Part 2. Hopefully after my holiday to the US, things will start looking up and I can do your course. What's this, Tara? Why aren't things looking up? Little things I think of once and forget about manifest easier than what I affirm for a day. I know you don't teach letting go, but any thoughts on why this is occurring? Because you literally don't give a shit. You don't give a shit. That's why you forgot all about it. Guys, the stuff you really care about can be a lot harder because you really fucking care, don't you? It's fine. Hi, Loz. Just heard a draft for the instrumentals of my song, and it sounds absolutely beautiful. It's so magical. Oh, make sure you post into the group, darling, when it's ready, won't you? All right. Loz, I've been accused of a serious crime. Oh, no. Regarding my family member, which I didn't commit. Oh, Jesus. My whole family cut me off, and my job is at risk. What do I do? Everything is falling apart. Oh, Kate, bloody hell. Go back and revise the whole thing, darling, and imagine that that's never happened if you possibly can. If you can't do that, then see the outcome that you want, the people coming to you and saying, I can't believe I accused you of that, Kate. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I ever believed that person. That was so convincing. I can't believe I ever betrayed you like that. Would you ever forgive me? Right? Imagine the outcome that you want, the people coming to you, your family coming to you, hugging you, congratulating you on whatever it is, and just saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Or that person coming to you and saying, oh, I admit that I was lying. I'm sorry I did that to you. I'm all kinds of fucked up at the moment. And you go, oh, it's okay. I forgive you, but I wish you hadn't done it. Think of the outcome you want, okay? And work on that. Everyone believes me. I'm always believed. Everyone stands by me. Everyone's on my side stuff. What's going on? The dogs and the cats running around. I'm affirming with my self-concept. I've always been chosen. I get a lot of attention. I stand out. I'm loved, etc. for months now. And sometimes other people, friends, get that. Is my self-concept not stable enough yet? And now sometimes other people, friends, get that. Why are you comparing yourself to what other friends are getting? So you're looking out in the 3D and thinking, I'm not getting it, but they're getting it. Why are you doing that? So what you're doing is comparing yourself to other people, which is the problem, which is what you should be affirming about. Instead of saying, I'm chosen, I get a lot of attention, I stand out, you've got to think, no one compares to me. I'm unique. I'm my own person. I don't look at anybody anymore. I don't need validation in the 3D anymore. I don't need to be accepted by anyone anymore. I accept me. Right? You're looking for external validation from the 3D, darling, even in your affirmations. I stand out. I am loved. I get a lot of attention. Did you as a child not get a lot of attention and love and affection, and your parents weren't there for you and you didn't stand out and you were ignored? Is that why it's happening now and why you've chosen those affirmations? So you're continuing to feel that way about life. So you're looking for the fact that it's still happening to you in the 3D and confirming your worst fears that this isn't working because you're still the same old person you were before who gets ignored. That's why you said those affirmations in the first place, isn't it? What happened to you when you were a kid that you didn't get attention? That's what you need to work out. Then you're going to think, why am I even caring how much attention I get now? I've just got to decide I'm enough as I am. Doesn't matter what anyone out here does for me or validates for me. I know I'm enough. And then when you stand in that power of being enough and accepting yourself fully and completely and loving yourself, it'll all change. But you're waiting out here to be validated by the change. Loz, by affirming I changed my situation from friends with benefits to no contact to him taking me to a luxury resort at the seaside. Oh! Trip was my partial manifestation, however. During the trip, he said he adores me as a friend. Oh, don't worry about that. I'm happy we're now on good terms, but not happy with the friend label. Don't worry about it, darling. What do you think is best to affirm now that he's attracted to me, obsessed with me? Haha. Yes, darling. Look, sometimes that will happen when you've got them on a pedestal. Okay, you think they're better looking than you, or you think they're unattainable in some way. You're doing that. Or you've friend zoned yourself for a long time before, and even though you've been working on this, you're still kind of friend zoning yourself. It's still playing out. He's showing you all the signs that he likes you, but you've still got the friend zone thing because that's just remnants from before. Don't worry about it. Go with what he's doing, not what he's saying. Hi, love life is way better than before, not caring about anything, and have realized now how I create everything. I'm seeing my dad's attitude towards me changing and my sister-in-laws too. Love you. Oh, wonderful, darling. That's all right. That's great. I love when the families change. Better to have your affirmations in the toilet than your self-concept. Oh, that's great, Robert. Yes. I was feeling lonely, felt like I had no friends. I started affirming to make new friends, and everyone loves my company, and dropped the victim lonely state and became relaxing and knowing continue. Then 3 old friends got in touch and have arranged to meet up with me, and even had a current friend just message and say how she loves having me as a friend. Oh, that's lovely, darling. How lovely. That happened to me too, just to make the story and persist on it. Yes, guys. It's all natural to have a crying day after starting self-concept affirmations. Yes, guys. I'm affirming so much times a day. Well, don't go crazy with it, darling, and turn into an affirming banshee like LOA people teach you to do. I don't want you to do that, but sometimes it can affect you because it's purging out your old thoughts about yourself. Yes. Hi, Loz. Self-concept was really well and SP was conforming. However, recently I haven't been manifesting as well as I used to. SP and I currently no contact. How am I able to get myself back to what it was before? Look, guys, sometimes shit will play out. Like I said, you've got to not think that this is the end, right? Oh, fuck, I fucked it up. No, you haven't. This is just playing out the old thinking you used to have about them, and most certainly the old thinking you've always had about yourself. All it is. Just see yourselves back together and work on the self-concept that's caused that. My daughter was never in school because of COVID and she did not work at all. I keep imagining everyone saying they couldn't believe how she did so well. She's passed every GCSE with highest grade. Oh, wonderful. I keep imagining, and that's going to happen, darling. That will happen. Doesn't matter that you didn't go to school. You probably study better just sitting at home. Don't worry about it. I found a big feeling for me is someone something better and I'm not wanted. Should I work on core affirmations that I am wanted, chosen? I did see affairs between my parents as a child, absolutely. And you'll think that's what love is, that people are going to cheat, they're going to abandon each other, they're going to not want each other. How did you see them acting with each other? It will always affect you guys, those kind of things. But absolutely, yes, those affirmations are great. You just answered my question. My father was narcissistic. That's why SP exploded to me yesterday and tried silencing me and devaluing me. I don't want to say anything bad about my family, but we had a lot of that in our household, okay? I'm not treated like that anymore in any way at all, ever. It changes. They will change. Trust me. Even the biggest narcs in the world change because I've done it over and over again with various people. And I kept attracting narcissistic men constantly. That's why I found Kim Velez's video about what to do with a narcissist completely laughable, because she said at the beginning of the video, and I love Kim, but she said at the beginning of the video, I've never been in a relationship with a narcissist. And I felt like writing, it's very clear in this video, Kim, that you never have, because the advice you just gave will not work. The 3D advice, right? Because I know what that experience is like when you get devalued, when you get yelled at, when you get disrespected, when it's all about them. I know that feeling, right? Because I grew up in a household like that. So just acknowledge that that's what you've done. That's how you've attracted that person, and now see him differently and see yourself as a person who's not treated that way, please. I found it working, and I'm not saying anything bad about Kim. I love Kim. I found it working, not focusing on SP at all, focusing on my self-concept, our son, and my house, and only affirming SP when negative comes up. Wonderful. SP has been in touch every day and seen him twice yesterday. Oh, wonderful, darling, great. SP keeps asking me on trips. Self-concept on point. My work is a bit tricky with annual leave. Don't worry about that, darling. I know I shouldn't affirm this, but affirmations for them to approve my annual leave to be with SP. Just imagine going on the trip. Imagine ringing him up and saying, oh my God, you won't believe it, they've approved it. Or see yourself on the trips. Go right to the end. Right? Right to the end. That's wonderful, darling. Hey, Loz, had some triggers, but proud I've not made contact with SP in a few weeks. This is a huge progress for me. Also have done so well to ignore. He has a new girlfriend. Repeated old story, little on the weekend, but telling myself it's okay, dominant state and story that manifests is this okay, had a cry last night, really never gone this long, 8 months without him, trying to trust in the unseen as job opportunity has come up with friend of a friend who works there, said his team isn't good or the potential new boss. Can I affirm against this? I would be changing salary and can still work from home. Had people parrot back to me on the weekend how great I am, men compliment me, my name, even though thought of someone hadn't seen them and thought of them tonight. I just wish I could see SP movement more. Look, guys, sometimes you get movement in every other area of your life except for SP. And the reason for that is because you've got a really old story about it or you really fucking care a lot about it. Right? I used to really care about auditions and I used to go in and do the best auditions and I still wouldn't get the job because I had a belief that I wasn't chosen. And it didn't matter how great my audition was. I used to go in and they'd say to me, you're the best actor we've seen all day, but we're not hiring you. And I'll be like, the fuck, bitch? And it used to happen all the time. I used to think, well, you don't look right for the part, stuff like that, right? So things that are playing out now are just a result of what you were thinking before, and it's not working with that area just yet because you care so much about it. That was the point I was trying to make, I think, in a roundabout way. Loz, what have you done to me? Oh, I saw that one about that's great. Hey, Loz, do you believe that before the breakthrough comes the breakdown? It can be, guys, or it cannot. It's just your belief in it. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Don't worry about it. Don't have that belief and then it won't happen for you. Hi, Loz, I've been doing self-concept affirmations for a few days and I feel so good. I'm now convinced that this is everything to do with me. Thank you so much. Oh, good, darling. When you have that realization, it's great, isn't it? It's also really shocking because then you realize you cause everything and you kind of beat yourself up if you're a person like me who beats themselves up. And by the way, if anyone thinks my account's about blaming yourself, it's not what my account is. Please go and read Neville again. So he just tried to get my attention by being so tough. He can't look me in the eyes. He can't even say my name. I feel like my name affects him. Oh, Selena, wonderful. But everyone keeps saying I'm wasting my time being around him and then he might marry someone else. Fuck, who gives a shit what anyone else says, darling? Stop listening to those dumb friends. Who cares? They're just reflecting your old fears. Don't listen to it. How did you do it? My whole 3D is saturated with this. I can't eat, can't sleep or anything or do anything for this to change. What are you talking about, Kate? How did Liana do what? Kate, you're fucking comparing yourself to everyone else's life outside of you. Why are you doing that? I don't feel worried about it, third party or anything, but for some reason I'm obsessed with them and always want to check up on them, even though I'm confident SP wants me. I always want to keep up to date with third party. Well, then you fucked it, darling. Fucked it, rolled it over in the ass and fucked your own manifestation in its asshole. Why are you doing that? We're together, we're together, we're together. What's the person he's actually with doing? You're fucking your own brain. Your brain's going, I thought we were together. Who's this bitch? Stop that. Think about how illogical that would be to your subconscious mind. And then figure out where you're getting this people compare to me, they're better than me shit going on in your brain. And fix it. I'm trying to manifest a new relationship and I'll write what I want in my partner. My question is, should I write how he is with me or can I also write his physical appearance? Both, darling. Do both if you want to. I've done both before. One where it was just about how they treat me, and one before that which was more about their qualities, what they were like as a person, their achievements, their career, their looks. And then I didn't actually get very good treatment, but then the next person turned up the looks that I like but treated me beautifully, which is what I wanted, right? Would you take American Express? I have no idea, darling. I don't know, guys. It'll be PayPal and Stripe. So if Stripe and PayPal are taking American Express, then yes. Damn, I was figuring out my self-concept to confirm for my situation and someone asked you the similar situation like mine without me typing to ask you and I got the answer, cool manifestation. Oh, wonderful. What did I manifest today? And I was like, oh yeah, I was worried about the quiz, the assessment in the course not working. We had this whole meeting. We were setting up this meeting about this is not going to work. And the next minute, another manifestation coach that I follow who talks about money manifestation sent me a quiz in my email. And I was like, what's this? And then I looked at it and she was using the same platform we use. So I could see that the quiz setup was what we wanted. And I got it on the day, minutes before our meeting. And I just sent it to them going, you won't believe this. Here's the solution. It was so funny. I was like, how has that just happened? And I never open my emails from other people, ever. Just happened to open that one. And I don't follow many coaches. She's like one of the few people I follow because she's Australian and I want to support the Australians. Where am I? Thank you, Laws. I mean, I thought I had removed the story of him being explosive and a nut in that way, but it came back months later. I worked on being listened to, etc. It's working perfectly. My father didn't allow me to express myself. There you go. Shall I revise and forgive my father again? Yes. And my ex-partner before him. Right. So didn't I say, did you come from a household where you couldn't express yourself? Right. So that's all it is. So all it is your brain finding a person very familiar that they'll feel safe with because being yelled at and being told to shut up and not listen to is very familiar. That's what love looks like. Now you've identified that that's not actually what love should look like and you're not going to put up with that shit anymore and you're going to revise your dad and revise this guy and revise the other guy and see yourself as a person who's always listened to. My dad wouldn't dare do that to me now. However, and I don't even want to say what the past used to be like because I feel awful saying it. It's like I was listening to John Johnson talking on his live the other day and people were asking him about his old story. Now here's his new wife lying in bed with him while he's doing the live. He didn't even want to relive the old story and discuss it with people on the live, and I can completely understand that because it's like you're bringing it alive again. Right? It'll change. Trust me. I've seen too many guys in my reality change, including family members, okay, and friends, for it not to be true. I love you so much and everyone here. We're all like a little family. I appreciate your support so much. Oh, Laura. I do too, guys. I love you all. I was uncontrollably crying yesterday for half an hour because of it. Yesterday when I said, stop, you have no power over me, and I did a meditation and managed to straighten my crown. Good, guys. And look, have a cry. You know the amount of times I have a fucking cry? I saw some video today that made me cry. What the fuck was it? Something. Oh, God, it was bad. big car accident and all these ambulance drivers. And I was like, God, what a horrible job. And I was like, oh, watching a TikTok. And I was like, I can't watch this. Turn it off. It's horrible. It's all right to have a big cry, guys. Where the fuck am I? Remember when I sent you asking how to manifest my cat back? I did that today and he's back with me. Oh, wonderful. I just kept visualizing him sleeping next to my arms at night. Oh, great, darling. I freaked out a couple of weeks ago when my new cat went missing, and then I suddenly was like, what am I doing? No. Just imagine her back, imagine a meow, imagine her telling you that she's here, imagine her back, and the next minute she's like, meow. And now she's so fucking noisy. Meow. And if I go outside and I start talking, she'll notice me. She'll come down off the roof. The other day I was in the kitchen. I'm making coffee. I wasn't making any noise. I wasn't talking. I hear this, meow. And I was like, what is she? And she was on the roof meowing at me through the air vent in the kitchen. Trying to say, open this air vent, let me in. I'm like, bitch, come around the front. But what I'd manifested was I wanted to tell me where she is and vocalize, I'm here. And she's doing it all the time now. Extra noisy. That's excellent, John. How can I get debt-free and have my loans and credit cards paid off? Just imagine telling someone. Imagine throwing a party about it. Imagine looking at your bank account and there's nothing coming out anymore. Okay, go right to the end. Morning, Loz. What to do about finding a house? There are a few areas I would like to live at the moment and have assumptional houses being expensive and over my budget, and I don't know how to go about it. Darling, I manifested a house in the exact area that I wanted to live in London. And I remember telling a friend when we arrived, the first time I ever went to Primrose Hill, and I said to my best friend, now this is where I want to buy a house. And he laughed his head off at me. He said, you won't be able to get a house anywhere near here. About 6 months later, I bought a house 5-minute walk from there. He came over and I said, now see that over there? Can you see that those trees, that clump of trees? He's like, yeah, I said, that's Primrose Hill. 5-minute walk from here. And he went, oh. And he remembered the story. I just imagined living in that area, and I knew I was going to live there, and no one was going to tell me any different. Right? Obstacles didn't matter. Prices didn't matter. The fact that it was a sought after area didn't matter. Didn't matter. I lived near Primrose Hill, and I would walk every day and go on my walks, and I would climb up Primrose Hill, and I would stand at the top of Primrose Hill. And if you guys ever seen Primrose Hill, it's the most beautiful place in London, and you can see the whole of London from the top. And that's what I'd imagine doing that. I imagine walking through the streets with the beautiful coloured houses. There's beautiful streets with pink and yellow and blue and green and orange houses all in a row. And I used to imagine I'm going to walk around here. And I used to do it every single day. Now, I was told there were no houses. Every house that I went for, it would be thrown back in my face and I wouldn't get, the offer would fall through, etc. I still got a house there. Right? Don't worry about what's happening on the outside world, okay? And it was also way beyond my budget, but someone gave me extra money to put towards it. I'm going to ask this one. I see what you mean. Thank you. Love you. I got this good, Georgia. I love that's wonderful, darling. Kylie, also me and SP going away in 2 days for 4 days. Oh, Kylie. So excited. We'll be living in the 5D in the end the whole time as we're away. As I know she is my wife, I will not react. We'll keep you posted. Oh, Kylie, wonderful. Can't wait to hear. Leave out the saucy bits in the Facebook group. What would be my beliefs when I procrastinate when it comes to my business? That you feel you're not good enough. You feel like you're going to fail anyway. What's the point? Nothing's ever good enough. I needs to be perfect because I'm not enough as I am. That. Welcome to my world, darling. Why do you think the course has taken so long? I was describing to my assistant today how much shit I do in a week. And she was like, you really need some helpers. She's like, I can understand why you haven't done the things you've done that you said you were going to do, like the podcast and things. I said, yes, but I've procrastinated so long now I'm annoying people because I've spent so long saying the course is coming, the coaching's coming, the podcast's coming, the merch is coming, that all of you must just be like, where the fuck is this? You keep going on and on and on about it's going to come, going to be here. And my perfectionism stopped it. And I'm so annoyed with myself that I did that now, that I know as soon as this course is out, there's no turning back and I cannot procrastinate like I did before. And that was a whole lot of needing it to be perfect. It won't be good enough thinking of mine, right? What the heck do you mean exactly when you say slowly, slowly catchy monkey or whatever it is you always say? It's an expression my mum used to say. So it means that you don't try and catch the monkey quickly because the monkey will run away. You slowly catch the monkey. You put out a little nut and you hold a banana and it ventures towards you and you make friends with it and you give it a little pat and then, oh, quick. So what I mean by that is you don't go and chase the guy, or you don't try and push the 3D. You allow it to unfold. You allow the guy to come towards you. You allow them to tell you how you feel. You don't ask where it's going. You don't push the envelope. You don't demand answers. You don't text them incessantly. You don't need to know where it's going. You let it unfold slowly, slowly, catchy the monkey. Make sense? You let it unfold, guys, in its own time, in its own way, and you don't push it. You don't try and catch the monkey. Fabulous. I literally have never felt so great in all my life. Oh, Claire Louise. I feel so confident, so beautiful, and I'm in control of my life. I feel so powerful. Oh, wonderful, darling. My car was due for its MOT this morning. Oh, I was saying to my son how it'll fly through with only minor work needed. Just found out it's passed. Oh, wonderful. I always do that with mechanics. I always think, nah, nothing's wrong with this car. It's just a small thing. And I'll go there and be like, is it this small thing? And they're like, actually, yes, it was only that. And I'll be like, oh, how about that? I don't anticipate it's going to be this huge bill. Because if you anticipate it's going to be a huge bill, it'll always be a huge bill. I remember one time I went for an MOT and the guy goes, oh, bad news. And I went, oh, and I was thinking, I never get bad news at an MOT. I always get good news. And he said, your windscreen wiper blades need replacing. I was like, is that it? He goes, that's it. I had the shittiest car. Never anything had any wrong with it in the MOT. Always passed. Wonderful. Can we revise shit childhood by 4x? My parents always have been attention and affection for me. Yes, you can say they always gave me attention and affection. My parents always gave me all the attention and affection I need. My parents are so affectionate. My parents always gave me cuddles. My parents were always there for me. They always listened to me. Yes, revise. By saying those affirmations, you're revising anyway, guys. How do I forgive SP? How is the mind convinced of forgiveness? My mind always makes me feel like a victim of these situations. It's just trying to keep you safe, Diana. It's just trying to stop you from getting hurt again. So ask yourself how that's helping you right now in this situation. If you are resentful and hurt and angry at them still, and then they come back, you're going to fuck it again with the old resentful, hateful anger that you're holding towards them and the sadness you hold in your heart while they're back. Then you'll get triggered like a bitch. You'll explode, or you'll bring something up. They'll leave again. And then you'll think, thank you, mind. I know you were trying to protect me, but you just royally fucked me in the ass. Right? I was watching a John Farnham concert last night. I don't know if you guys know who John Farnham is. And he's an Australian singer. He's probably the greatest singer ever known to man, okay, who was an opera singer. Like greatest pop singer. He's got the greatest voice. And at the moment, he's going through cancer, and I'm willing him to be better. He's going to be fine. Anyway, there's this channel that has just been getting attention because John was sick in hospital, and he was reviewing John's singing. And this guy's like, this guy's the greatest singer ever. And there was someone sent him doing Gethsemane, which is from Jesus Christ Superstar. And there's a scene in Jesus Christ Superstar, if you guys have ever seen the show, where Jesus at the not Last Supper, but the night where they'll go to sleep. And he's like, does anyone want to stay awake with me? James, John, Peter? And they've all gone to sleep. He goes, no one? No one's going to stay awake with me? Now, what did Jesus say before any of that happened? You guys know the story of the night when he was betrayed. He said, one of you will forsake me. And then it manifested, right? So in that scene, he knows what's coming. He literally has manifested his own fate by imagining eventually he'll be turned to the Romans and he's fucked. He imagined it the whole time. Then he said, one of you will do this. Then one of them did. And then he was like, huh. And then what did he say? Forgive them, Lord. They know not what they do. Because he realized he was the one who did it. And that is the whole of Neville's teachings. If you can understand that the law of assumption is you are the only cause, and therefore you have to forgive anyone or anything that's hurt you and anything that's happened because you were the cause of it with your old habitual thoughts. And a lot of people don't understand that's what my account is about. that you run this shit out here, but you've also got to acknowledge that when you're looking at the shit you caused it. And forgive yourself for it and forgive the other people. And some people think I'm saying blame yourself or beat yourself up or it's your fault. Please, if anybody thinks I say that, they need to go and read some Neville and really listen to him again. So you understand why I'm saying you have to forgive them? Because you caused it. It wasn't more my parents, it was more growing up in a racist country as a biracial girls got chosen over me a lot. Well, there you go, Sylvie. So there's the problem. I got rejected even though I saw I was more beautiful than them. Well, darling, then why the fuck are you comparing yourself now to other people when you acknowledge that that's the problem? So you're very aware of why you're doing that and you're still doing it. And then you're saying, why are other people getting this? Or why am I still looking at other people? Why am I comparing myself to other girls? You know why? Now you know why. Stop thinking that. Stop thinking anyone's going to get what you want. Stop comparing yourself. Say that. I am more beautiful than anyone else. I stand out in the crowd in a good way. I'm good special, not bad special. My difference makes me special. Say that. Hey, Loz, how can I stop thinking of all the logical reasons of why I can't get my manifestation? I flip the thoughts and don't accept them. Is this enough? Yes, guys, but look, logic really has no place here because it's all logic is really your mind trying to find reasons why it's not going to work out to protect you. That's really all the logic is that you're doing. It's not really logic. It's just your brain protecting you. If you can understand that, you'll take it away from logic as in this is how the world works. And if you can backtrack and realize how you cause things, then you realize logic has no place in this because you've got to acknowledge that you cause shit. So didn't you do that? Didn't that masterfully manifest before? Didn't you masterfully manifest that? Weren't you really good at doing that? You did that. So why do you think you can't change what you caused? I've had that too. Reconnected with an old friend, became closer with my neighbours. We were all chatting in the garden and made a new mummy friend at the beach who is from the same town as me. And we met up yesterday. Oh, wonderful, Laura. That's lovely. To get rid of third parties, can I affirm they annoy and upset my SP? If you really want to, Susie, be keeping them in your reality. And my SP doesn't want them anymore. If you really want to, but no. And also, can you explain again the narc people? How do we deal with that? Susie, you're really focused on third parties. And I tried to explain this to someone a couple of months back and they got really annoyed at me because I didn't want to not focus on the third party. The third party is anything outside of you. And if you see it as part of your manifestation, you're literally keeping it there. Whether it's an organization you're still angry about, a person you're still angry at, a thing you think is stopping you getting what you want, by putting any attention on it, you're literally keeping it there. So if you include the third party in your affirmations, you're keeping them around. And narcs turn up in your reality because you're an overgiver, people pleaser, don't think you're good enough, a whole lot of shit, and that's why they turn up. So you have to change you and they'll change. The friends and family from my SP don't like me, that's your assumption, and they influence my SP, that's also your assumption. I know that was just my negative thought, so should I just imagine in my head they like me and don't play a big role in our relationship? You just answered your own question. Yes. Right? Get rid of that shitty story. It's not helping you, is it? I remember when SP came back crazy in the best way. I felt so unbelievably amazing, then doubted it and kept asking him if he meant it and lost him again a couple of days after. I've done that in a kind of similar way. He came back. I just couldn't believe how good it was. I was like, oh, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Don't do that. He came back a couple of weeks later, was perfect again, and I lost him again. Goes to show how powerful enough to get him back just the way I want and believe that I'm amazing enough for him to stay. I need to stop thinking I frick things up. See, you've got the same problem as me. I deserve everything good, yeah. So do you come from a household where you were yelled at and told that you do things wrong? Hi, Loz. Can I manifest fertility even if I'm age 47? Of course you fucking can, darling. People have babies in their 50s. Don't worry about it. Just imagine yourself as a mum. Imagine yourself as a mum, even if it's not a child you birthed. See yourself as a mum, darling. I just started crying when you said you experienced the same. I thought I had removed it, Loz. I will see myself differently in him, but I need to distance myself for now. That's fine, Laura. Do that. If you need to do that, do that. My SP has been struggling with schizophrenia, and because of that, we're in separation. How do I fix that? Well, stop seeing them as schizophrenic. Stop seeing them as having that massive problem. Stop seeing them that way. See them as healed. See them as healthy. See them as mentally thriving. See them as handling all their emotions. See them as completely different. Advice on manifesting a job I don't have the expertise, but all of the requirements for. Doesn't matter, darling. I've had jobs that I didn't even know how to do. I turned up on the first day of being the assistant for the head of the Olympic Village. I didn't even know how to use Outlook. Just imagine you've got the job done. Well, you're so gifted. Thank you for everything you do and do with and for us. Oh, Miss Tiffany Jane, you're so welcome. Love you, Lois. You're the best. Oh, thanks, Rachel. I manifested my brother to give me drinks while I was listening to you. Oh, lovely. Dear Lois, what's the problem behind not trust to myself? I think it's like it's not going to work. You just don't trust yourself, darling. It's just human nature to think that this is bullshit. Like some girl who lost her shit in the group today and said, you're just one of those people trying to get money out of people and getting their hopes up. Bitch, I haven't charged anybody for anything since July of last year. What are you talking about? Except an ebook that costs $12. Are you all right? You don't need me. You need a shrink. Should we try to not care as much? Oh, she was just triggered because of SP had blocked her and then I blocked her from the group, or she left or something happened. So should we try not to care as much? Well, if you can help it, yes. But also, guys, you just got to get into the state of I have it, right? The more you think you have it, the less you care because you have it already, right? Think about if you're married for real. Would you be constantly worried about whether your husband was going to come home? I really care about if my husband's coming back. I know he's coming back. I'm married. You're in the state of it's here. I'm in the state of content. I'm in the state of it's done when it's done. It's the complete opposite of really caring about it. Think about that. How you would actually feel, behave if you had it. That's the key we're trying to get to here, guys. It's what anyone's trying to teach you. Kimberly, me, Kimberly's, Sasha, anyone who's trying to teach you, trying to get into the feeling state, meaning feeling the real reality of it's here now. Therefore, you won't care, be desperate for, ruminate about, worry about as much the thing because it's already here. Just like you would if you were already married, right? Shall I revise the behaviour? I'm not sure whether to revise it or just work on being respected and heard. Things is I have been doing that. Maybe I just forgive my father. Yes, you can do that, darling. Absolutely forgive them. Forgive them for being a really shitty dad. They didn't know better. Now they know better. They're going to do better. Fuck, this just jumped. God damn it. Primrose Hill is now on my bucket list. It's beautiful. Go and look it up on Google. Where am I? Hi, Loz. SP is not responding to me quickly, and this made me angry because I downloaded IG to get in touch with him. But his attitude has made me feel angry. I want to send him a message telling him I will delete IG, enjoy with people you know, but I try to control my nerves and I don't know how to fix that situation. Dinah, my advice to you, darling, while you're feeling so unhinged and so angry is to put your phone away, possibly throw it down a well because you're going to fuck this up by being a triggered fucking bitch. Have you watched me before? So you're going to go Burko at your SP for ignoring you on Instagram, even though you were the one who did it to get in touch with him, and now he's not getting in touch with you because of your triggers from childhood of feeling ignored, you're going to blame it on him. No, darling, it's got nothing to do with him, and all he's going to do is think you are a fuckwit and a psycho, and he's probably just going to block you completely from every single app you could ever contact him on because you're acting like a triggered bitch and not getting control of your triggers. So how you fix the situation is stop fucking doing anything in the 3D to text him, contact him, do anything towards him, and start working on your own triggers. Feeling ignored, not good enough. And then you don't get the love you need. Where's that coming from, Dinah? It's got nothing to do with him. Don't take your shit out on him. I think I've just worked myself up because it's his birthday this week and I'm trying to control the 3 days. So I'm with him on his birthday. I need to focus on subconcept and how much he loves me and how that's wonderful. Oh, don't worry about his birthday this week, darling. Birthday schmirthday. Don't worry about it. Devastated he'll be that I'm not there with him and the story doesn't flip in time. Don't worry about that, darling. Sorry for the ramble, letting it out and getting your advice. Keen for that course. I appreciate you, Lois. Thank you. Guys, don't worry about their birthdays and stuff. You can celebrate their birthday when you're back together. Don't worry about that. And don't beat yourself up. You're beating yourself up even in the question. After years of me and SP finally meet, we ended up in bed, but he's going to be my boyfriend. He is obsessed with me. We have a great relationship now in my head, but I'm so special that he wants me as his girlfriend. Oh, Carolina, wonderful. You did that? Yes. Imagine what you want, darling. Wondering if me going hard on I am treated with respect affirmation could turn SP seeing me as a valuable woman, but not as someone he's attracted to anymore, or just that he is still on the pedestal. Why are you so obsessed with being respected? Where's that coming from? I'm respected. Why are you assuming no one's going to respect you? Where do you get that from? That's a weird affirmation, I think. Sometimes, guys, you've got to think, why am I saying that? Do I have an assumption that people don't respect me? Do I have an assumption that I'm below someone? Do I have an assumption this person's so far above me that they're going to put me down, that they're not going to listen to me, that I'm going to get ignored? Or what's that about? Well, that's not really about respect. That's about when I was a kid, I wasn't listened to. When I was a kid, I wasn't given what I wanted. When I was a child, someone lorded it over me and didn't listen or put me down or made me feel bad about myself. And I felt shame about myself and not good enough. And I wasn't listened to and wasn't heard and wasn't seen and wasn't respected. Oh, it's about that. So saying he respects me really doesn't fix anything because I've got to fix why I feel like I won't be respected in the first place. Where's that coming from? Right. Some of you are doing kind of hollow affirmations, but you're not getting to the core of like why you need to even say that. That's what I teach. That's why some people think I'm talking about like blaming your past or blaming yourself for your past. I'm not saying blame yourself for your past or any of that shit. I'm saying what was your past so you can work it out so you can fix it now. Hello, Lords. Today, something triggers me a lot. Then I affirm that I'm chosen. Then I saw my SP after long. He continues, thanks. Oh, I don't really understand that. Then I affirm I'm chosen. Then I saw my SP after so long. Oh, wonderful. That's great. Dear Loz, is it better I'm starting affirming every 3 hours for self-concept, but often affirmation? I see your videos and found I have rejection, neglected, abandonment, trust, issue to myself, and not good enough. Right. So, darling, you're worried too much about how much you're doing the affirmations. Don't worry about that. Try more to just steep yourself in the state. Whenever you feel wavering, go back to that. Don't worry too much about how many times you're saying it. But if you're in a state where you can't possibly think anything different, then yeah, affirm as much as you can for now. But you don't have to keep doing it crazily forever. It's just to get yourself in a good state. Okay? But don't worry too much about how many times you're saying it. That's worrying about if you're doing it wrong. Okay. Hi, Rebecca Jane. Hey, Loz, I need you to talk some sense to me. But going hard on self-concept, listening to priority takes, feeling a bit wonky at the moment, not sure how to persist through the self-concept changes. People around me talking badly about SP and SP being funny in 3D. I know it's reflecting my thinking, but not sure how to persist. Guys, don't worry about what's happening on the outside. So people bitch and moan. People are talking about bad things about them. Just be like, okay, let's change subject and change the subject. Don't engage in any conversation with anyone about your SP. If any of you are still in the 3D talking about your SP to anyone, expect those kind of conversations. And then be unsurprised by the fact that that's what happened. Because they're only playing out your old thoughts. Hi, Loz. My first time catching alive. How do I turn my affirmations into new beliefs? You don't worry about them even being beliefs, darling. They become beliefs eventually. The more you think them, the more you turn into the person who believes that that's true. And you have no control over when it becomes belief, so don't even bother. Don't try and believe it. Just think it. Just be in a new state of you. Then eventually you'll believe it. But you have no control over it. Hi, guys. My grandfather didn't want my father. He didn't like boys. I'm going to revise that. He was very Victorian. Oh, yeah, get rid of that, John. So that's where he came from, not being able to be a good parent, Laura, because he didn't have a good parent. What's your opinion on Reiki healing? I've never done it, darling. I want to purchase some. I feel so alone and trying to cure my mum. Well, go and do it, darling. Go and do it. And don't worry about you being alone. The cheese stands alone. As long as you have the faith, darling, doesn't matter what anyone else is saying. I remember a couple of months ago, I saw a video on my view page about some lady losing her cat in France. I affirmed that she'd find it. The next day she did. I was so happy for her. Oh, I love wonderful. Did you ever go to Winter Wonderland? I did once. The last year I was in London and it was really great. And I was like, why have I never gone there before? It was really good. It was like being in Germany for Christmas markets. Well, so I'm working on my self-concept, but what else can I do to work on it? I affirm and visualize. Is that enough? What else can I do? Guys, that is more than enough. I don't want you guys to worry that you're not doing enough. A lot of you are in here worry that you're not doing enough, but the core of that worry, I'm not doing enough, is worrying that you need to be perfect, worrying that you're not enough as you are. So you're asking me, am I doing enough? Which is the problem, you see? Hey, Laws, SP and I are at uni now that we've graduated. We're no longer in my 3D. I don't feel the need to affirm for him, nor is he on my thoughts anymore, but I do want a relationship with him. No longer in my 3D. Oh, okay. But I do want a relationship with them. Well, it doesn't matter that they're not on your 3D. It doesn't matter. Just see yourself in the future with them, darling, if that's what you want. Also had a lovely day on Sunday with our SP and son and daughter. He surprised us with a trip to the safari. Amazing. My kids loved it. Not boasting on the SP and focusing on yourself works. Oh, Lisa Louise, that's great. With your kids and his kids. Oh, wonderful. A job opportunity has come up. I was excited, but someone I know works there and said, not a good team. My potential new boss isn't great. What would you suggest? I want this new role. Well, just decide that they're full of shit. They don't know what they're talking about. It's wonderful. And you don't take what someone else says for gospel. Whenever I started going out with someone and someone knew someone, I'd be like, can you? And they'd be like, do you want to know about them? I'm like, no, thank you. Because their viewpoint of it would tarnish my viewpoint of this person or this job or whatever. Don't listen to what anyone else says. Is that your fears manifest? Probably. Don't worry, Loz. Be kind to yourself and patient. We don't judge you for it. I know it's like to procrastinate, but that's the old me now. Yes, good. Thank you, darling. Yes, I'm not going to beat myself up about how fucking long this has taken and how many fucking plagiarizing bitches have turned up in the meantime. I'm going to get that out of my head. It's timed perfectly. All your YouTubes are building up the course coming soon. It's going to break the internet. Break the internet. I think I manifested you saying that. Should I think that the other day? Something happened where I thought break the internet in an expression about something. I think I made you say that. What was I thinking? I'm trying to think what it was. I think you were explaining, just never heard it, and you always say, oh, good, okay. I think it was in a tarot reading, and I was like, I like that. And it sounded like Kim Kardashian, yes. Hey, Loz, the other day, what's this? The other day you had 11.7K followers, and I said the next time I look, Loz will have 12K next morning, 12K subs. Blew my mind. Oh, thank you, darling, for doing that for me. You manifested that. Thank you. I firmed the electricity and gas firm owe me money. Then I got money towards it already this year. Oh, good. Seems everyone is experiencing similar things today from their childhood. Yes. Look, I'm the account for talking about your childhood. If you don't want to talk about your childhood, I'm not for you. If you just want to revise and treat this like magic, this is not the account for you guys. So I'm glad you guys are on board. Definitely not annoying people. Get that assumption out of your head. Good things are worth waiting for. Oh, good. SP sent me a video last night saying she missed me. Oh, that's lovely. You're my teacher. Oh, thank you, darling. I heard that Priscilla Presley never believed any rumors she heard about Elvis being with other women. I think that's how they ended up together. I guess she didn't pay attention to 3 days. She mustn't have. Loz, your live started at 5 a.m. EST US. First time watching live this early. Alarm goes off at 5:30. I usually hit snooze. Not this morning. I listened to you live. You may be my new alarm. Oh, good, darling. I feel undervalued and underpositioned and underpaid in my work and industry. Do I speak up about it? Fuck no, Vera. That's not going to make any goddamn difference. I'm angry, but also don't want to be in the victim mindset. Well, you are, darling. So you're the only person who can drag yourself out of that. I know the amount of girls in London I know who have that mindset and they never get promoted and they never, ever, ever get the job roles they want. And then they complain that all the men get it. And then I feel like saying, bitch, you've been in a victim mindset and thinking that men get things over you the whole time. You're thinking you're undervalued and underpaid, and so you continue to be. Read what you just fucking wrote, Vera. How is verbalizing your current fears and your current beliefs about yourself that you're causing it to manifest in your reality by thinking that, ruminating about that, complaining about that, and then saying something about it's going to change it, is it? No, you need to change your thinking about being underpaid, undervalued, and underpositioned. What the fuck is you being an angry, triggered bitch in the workplace going to do other than make you look like an angry, triggered bitch that no one would ever put in your position? They'll just go behind your back and go, fuck me, Vera's a psycho. And then you'll be back to square one. You think you're undervalued, underpositioned, and underpaid. So what do you think is going to happen? I am overvalued. People think I'm the greatest employee they've ever met in their whole lives. I'm so valued in this company, they wouldn't dare upset me. They give me everything I fucking want. I am enough. I am more than fucking enough. Now, before you start saying that shit, Vera, start identifying what happened to you in childhood when no one fucking listened to you or were there for you or abandoned you or didn't want you, and therefore you're not wanted at work. Vera, have you watched me before? You don't sound like you have. Because otherwise you would have investigated what the fuck happened to you as a kid that's making you feel so shitty about yourself. Now, let me give you a hint. Did your dad abandon you and leave you? Or something like that? Or a mum? Because you sound very similar to a friend of mine whose dad abandoned her, and so she constantly thinks everyone's going to abandon her at work and complains that she's undervalued, underpositioned, and underpaid. And nothing's ever changed for her. So she gets abandoned at work. What happened to you as a kid, Vera? And then go and watch my videos. You saved me from the shit believed about chakras. Oh, chakras. What does it mean when specific people, usually men or very masculine women, show heaps of anger towards me? My brother is like this. Most people respect me, but he's constantly trying to overpower me. Well, have you got a story that he was constantly like that as a kid, that he wins every argument, that he's a destructive person, an angry person, that he hates you? What's your story about him, darling? My last job, boss threw things at me, and I felt like so many men looked at me with so much anger. People treat me with so much respect and love since I've been working on self-concept, but I've noticed intense anger from these men, and I just don't get it. Well, what happened to you as a kid with this brother? Is it the brother, or is it other men in your reality that it happened with? Get rid of that story about him and change it. Revise it if you can. Thank you, Loz. On a positive note, I've had so much movement with SP. He came back from holiday and called me the same day and wanted to see me. He looked at me so in love and said how much he missed me. Oh, Sylvie, wonderful. That's great, darling. All right. I'm literally so glad I found you. You've helped me so much, and I love watching your videos and live streams. Also, I love your manifesting rants. They're really motivating. Oh, wonderful, darling. Thank you so much. He kept staring at me, said I'm so beautiful, couldn't stop thinking about me. We held each other and talked for hours. He's mine. Oh, Sylvie, that's lovely. Yesterday, I wrote out a letter to my subconscious and also the version of my SP I chose to only see now and read it occasionally. That's great, Natasha. I've been feeling what I think is indifferent or close to since. Wonderful, feeling indifferent. Like, I know it's here. I know it's coming. What am I worried about? Wonderful, darling. That's great. A great idea. Write a letter to your subconscious. That's a great idea. To anyone out there with narcissists and the feeling of needing to chase or give love because of the devaluation, I use the I am safe and secure and I am safe to express myself. Now I don't do that. That's great, Laura. Dear Loz, what is a shitty belief that is underneath belief in specific psychic? I think a lot of the beliefs in psychics is just the power is outside of you and you think someone's got the power over you or the universe has got the power or a person's got the power or a psychic's got the power and you can't do things, guys. Is that what you're asking? When thinking of SP, should I just think of her single already and there be no third parties? See them with you, darling. And concentrate on me being enough, unique, and want her to contact me? No, you see you and her together, not other third parties being away from them. Otherwise, you'll manifest the third parties away and you still won't be with your person. You've got to go to the end, darling. I had the same with Blackheath, South London, coming around the corner on bus 89, this huge open green in front of me. Yes, Blackheath, with a church in the middle. I'm going to live here one day. Didn't even have a job back then. Lived in the same postcode in the end, in my own house, passing it on the way to work every day. Oh, that's lovely. Yes, Blackheath's beautiful. I say I respect myself and I've always been treated beautifully. Obviously, I need to focus more on how I was treated as a child, but I know it comes from there. Wonderful, Laura. Good. Oh, guys, these are really jumping and I've got to go soon because it's pitch black outside and I've forgotten to take the dog for a walk. My God, it's pitch black. Oh, shit. I've been on here for ages. And it was going to be nice weather and I was going to take the dog and she hasn't had a walk. Guys, I've really got to go. What do I do if I no longer feel the need to affirm, visualize, just want my manifestation? Well, just assume you're in the state, darling, and that's great. Hi, Loz, I'm still rampaging, persisting that I won't lose my home in foreclosure. Stop saying you will, darling, and just persist that it's yours. It's yours. On the other hand, I'm getting worried that if I don't find someone to stay with me, I'll be screwed. Well, then you're screwing it up, darling. Stop saying that. Stop saying you're going to be screwed. You can't be a servant of two masters. You can't think you're screwed and you've got it at the same time. Does revision work? Yes, guys, if you can successfully do it. What does it mean that I want everyone else to forget what happened to SP and I feel so accepted and I worry about what other people think? Well, maybe you just worry about what other people think in general, darling. You care too much about acceptance and validation in 3D and what other people think of you. How would I manifest gaining more Instagram followers or growing my platform? Love your content. Well, I need to do that. Let's manifest that together. I have so many followers. I'm breaking the internet with my amount of followers. Something like that, darling. See the number going up. See people talking to you. See people wanting to do things with you on Instagram, etc. All right, guys, I've really got to go. What should we call this live? Narcissistic parents. What else did we talk about? Trust the process, doubting yourself. What else did we talk about? All from childhood. Yeah, childhood stuff. Something like that, guys. I can't remember what number this will be, 70 something. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'm really sorry I've got to go. It's like literally pitch black outside. My dog's just sitting here looking at me, staring with puppy dog eyes. All right, guys, I'll be live again tomorrow, 9 p.m. EST if you want to join me then. All right, guys. Bye. All right, let's